everyone, welcome back to another 31-minute podcast.
Good morning.
Morning, Jordan.
Good morning.
Morning, Tara. Morning. She's making some breakfast over there. crawled out of the bedroom. Yeah.
On the ceiling. I'm still cracking up about sometimes we feed her and send her back.
Yeah, send her back in. Yeah. It's a bit early for you, Tars. It's like, what, 7:30 or something? Yeah? She's not impressed. Let's leave her alone.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for washing up, Tars, while we're doing the podcast. Can you hear that? Sort of, yeah. Let us know when you finish, Tars. Thank you. All right. Let's go. So today we thought we'd do something slightly different. We've had lots of different messages. We get messages all the time about podcasts and questions and things, and obviously we like to share as much info as we can. So we're going to do a whole lot of questions we put up yesterday, or people put up yesterday.
I like these.
And run them through. It's very varied.
That's what I was just about to say. There's some on business and there's a lot on like energy and things like that. It's good questions. I'm looking at them now.
So maybe if you read them out, we'll try and answer them all as quickly as we can.
Well, there's a couple in there that are good that just say, love the podcast. I turn it on every time I drive to work. It's fantastic. Keep it up.
Oh, by the way, we've got new microphones.
Yeah, we do.
New microphones, new cameras.
They look like a robot arm.
They do. They're a bit like, I feel like punching out a tune.
You were just punching out a tune before.
Welcome to DJ 45, 79.
yeah.
It's like
that's literally what it's like.
Hot bitty ball. Okay, sorry. Distracted. Keep going.
All right, well, we'll jump straight in. The first one here is, any advice for someone going into their second year in real estate with 45 sales in their first year?
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Great year. Yeah.
So some of these real estate questions, obviously. Going into second year, well, obviously something's working, 45 sales. I'd say the danger zone there is having an expectation of doing more.
Yep.
And you can have like a really busy first year, and I don't know if they started from scratch or they started from a team, or it doesn't say, but I'd keep my expectation there for a while, and I'd learn to operate there comfortably. So comfortably at 50 sales, that's a good year. That's a very solid year, especially by yourself. I just vibrationally just operate there, because I think what people do is they burst out of the gates, they do all this stuff, then they get exhausted, they get overwhelmed, and then they go backwards. Quite often that can happen. Your mum's a good example.
That happens a lot, actually.
Yeah, your mum actually is. Your mum's probably one of the better agents I've ever seen implementing, probably one of the best implementing systems.
Yeah.
She went from zero, what was her first year, 650 or something like that, or it might have been 450, then 650, something along those lines, and then she went backwards. Yeah. She tried to put on a team, didn't work for her, and she didn't learn to operate at a level, because it's a long. Sometimes people, we talk about years in real estate, like this year I did, that year I did. But what about in 20 years? We were talking about this last night. What about in 20 years?
Exactly.
You know, where do you want to be in? It's a career. It's not like a job to see how well you do over a year, 2 or 5. It's like, let's talk 10 years down the track.
I think what people do too, and watching her, and she's a very good agent, as you know, is they stop doing all of the things that made them the money in the first place. Like now she's like, oh, nah, I don't like door knocking anymore.
Yeah.
But how long? She door knocked for what, every day for 3 years and wrote huge big numbers. And now it's like, oh, well, I just don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do 60 sales a year instead of 80 and not door knock.
You are right.
Yeah.
There's a system, the Matt Steinway system, that we all work to. And your mum followed that exactly.
She did.
A lot of people, there's a part in there that takes years to implement properly. But if you do, you literally blow your competition away. But it takes a long time to get implemented, part of it. And your mum, you could, when she went backwards, you could pretty much identify what she stopped. So you're exactly right. And instead of, because she was overwhelmed, she was just buggered, you know, and then it's an energy game as well. And then she just started slowly getting back to what she did, and now she's killing it. She'll write $1 million this year, maybe. But it's been what?
Over.
It's been 5 years down. Yeah, a bit over. But it's been 5-6 years now down the track. That was about 2 years. So she went through this big dip.
Yeah.
instead of just hovering,
Mm.
doing what she needs to do every day, and then slowly grow. I'm all about slow growth.
Yeah.
45 sales is great, but I see a danger zone coming up for that.
Yeah.
Who is it? What's their names?
Tommy W.
Tommy,
all I
yeah.
can
So I
see.
see a danger zone. Don't worry about growing too much at the moment. Just operate at 50 sales for the next couple of years.
You said to me yesterday when we were chatting about business and all this sort of stuff, you just want to keep consistently growing year on year for 20 years.
Slightly.
You don't want to go up
Yeah.
like super fast, because you said if you go up super fast, most times you'll come down super fast.
It is.
Yeah.
That's where, and we talk, often. And last night we talked about these people. You see these superhero real estate agents in real estate. In 3 years, they do 300 sales, and whether it's true or not, I don't know, no idea. But and everyone's like, "Whoa, that's amazing!" I look at it and go, "Whoa, that's."
Yeah.
I don't know that that's sustainable, but anyway, But when you look at someone who's been in it for decades and they're doing these great figures, but they might have only grown by 10% a year, they're the ones that usually last the distance. Next question.
Next question. It actually ties into the last one pretty well. What's the best way to increase your business without burning yourself out?
Well, you just went through a burnout. What's your...
I did. Work out why you're burning out.
Yeah.
I think that's the crux of it.
You probably went through one of the biggest burnouts I've ever seen anyone go through for a young person.
Yeah.
You literally didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
You were literally shaking with anxiety every day, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were just not enjoying it.
I
And you couldn't find your center again.
For months.
Months. I reckon it would have been at least somewhere between 3 and 6 months.
I was going home and just sitting in the shower and crying and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. I couldn't handle my emotions. The tiniest little thing would just send me over the edge.
You were sleeping in. You were not doing anything outside of trying to just get through work.
Yeah.
You were just, and you look like a jelly blubber. Your whole persona changed. You put on weight.
I did.
You just
stopped going to the gym.
You did.
Every single thing that I did stopped, and
Yeah.
all I did every day was wake up and just try and get through the workload.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But getting through the workload, and you were terrible to be around. Your energy was terrible. Everything about it was
Our poor team for 3 months.
yeah.
Remember,
We were just
how
you'd
many
walk out the
times-
door and we go, oh my goodness, I'm
how
so
many
glad
times
he's
did I
not
buy-
here.
Buy Asher some flowers.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
I was buying her flowers on a week.
You would erupt in 2 seconds. Anyway, yeah. So what did you do? Talk us through it.
I think, like I said before, work out why you're burning out. I know why I was burning out. I was going through another growth phase, but like we were talking about last night, I was trying to do it on my own. I was trying to just build. I already had a huge workload, and I just put another 20% on top and thought I could manage it, which I couldn't. I think I should have just worked out how to work smarter, not harder. I think for young people, they're like, we think I can do anything.
What does that mean though? Work smarter, not harder. I know that's a saying, but what does that actually mean?
Well, we looked at before we come back this year. We looked at what are the things that take a lot of our time, and we worked out that it was the phone calls, and we spoke about this last week, and the hundreds of inquiries, and we tried to solve. If you can solve a couple of hours a day to get non-dollar productive tasks or tasks that an assistant can help with or that technology can help with, a few hours a day can free your mind up massively.
Yeah.
But also too, I think you got to be happy. I think like you say, and you say it to me all the time, when you're happy in momentum and on a roll, you sort of don't get caught in a negative headspace and all that sort of stuff because you're just powering through things.
Do you think your expectation creeped in as well before? You wanted to be here, but you were getting. It's almost like it was slowing you down the volume as well. Because you're very driven with, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, I want to do that, and sometimes when it doesn't happen or it's not happening quick enough, or do you think your expectation was a bit in there as well?
Yeah, probably. It was a mix of different things.
You're a bit torn. I could see a bit of tearing going on. You want to, because you work within a team just like we all do, and you were so desperate for your brand to be being built.
And that was the time where I had all of them. We sold houses
you're getting
for
a lot of
successful
advice.
People, and everybody feels like they need to tell me what they think I should be doing, and it sent my mind.
Yeah,
out of
people
control.
were saying you should go out on your own, or you'll be stuck as a PA for ever, and that wasn't even the case, but that was their perception.
Yeah.
And I think they came from a good place. I think they genuinely cared about giving you good advice. But I think it did play with your mind.
Massively.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And let's be really honest. We had a talk last night around, because I'm always, you got to work with people who really care about your personal goals as well. And I do. I know exactly what you want to achieve. But sometimes I do have to keep you on the track though as well, and make sure you know that we are headed in the direction that you want to go. But like last night we had a chat about, your goals, but also the reality of time.
And my goal's not at the detriment of the team.
Of the detriment of the team, because like I think there is a question in here about building your own brand within a team, because you're at a crossroads right now where you could easily go out and sell 50 plus houses a year on your own, go through exactly the journey your mum went on, that sort of thing. But you're attached to a team which could also prove very fruitful for you in a different way. Like you'll contribute to that. So you're about, and like last night, like we said, we're fine with whatever you decide. Like if you wanted to go out on your own, I'll help you. But it's a long road to replicate what we've got now, or you stay attached to it, and basically you are, that team becomes yours over a little bit of time. But it's like, that how do you feel about time, and what's your experience with? Well, talk us through like how I'm probably trying to say like, how are you feeling with, like, how do you make your decisions around it? Because I think sometimes people are a part of a team.
Yeah.
And then it would always go through your mind, just like, me being a part of a company. I'm in a partnership in a business, and I used to think to myself, or heaps of people used to say to me, go open Matt Steinway Real Estate. You are McGrath. I'd be like, and I'd really think, oh, yeah, maybe they're right. And then I would go through that process.
Yeah.
So talk us through like your decision making on how are you making decisions on your future, whether to be a partner in the team or to be standalone on your own?
I think you got to like the team firstly, and the people that you work with. Like if you're in a team and you can't stand the people in the team, like, there's no point of being in that team. Like you and I are great friends. Trev and I are great friends. Like we would hang out outside of work. We're almost like a family. So to move out of the team to me would be like losing a family. And it's something I've worked in for such a long time now, that like Ash, obviously our PA, has been a great friend of mine for years and years and years and years and years. So it would mean leaving her and things like that. I know it's not about that, but I think
that's part of what you're getting out of it, is it? Because we all make decisions on what we get out of it.
You go and be an agent on your own with no PA for 3 years, and it's a lonely road. Yeah. Like real estate is such a hard industry, I think, emotionally, like to actually understand what you need to say, what I need to do here. If you're doing it on your own for 3 years, and this is why a lot of people just go, oh, bugger it and leave, is because they feel so isolated that they don't actually have anybody to lean on. And we're lucky with our company that there is so many agents, and we've got a really full office of good people. So it's much easier for a standalone agent to work in McGrath Terrigal, because we all get along really well. There's great agents there. There's companies with 2 to 3 agents in there. You'd barely cross paths with people. You'd be sitting at a desk every day going, blank sheet of paper today, all right, let's start making some calls. Like, I have no interest in doing that, really. I prefer working in a team. And I think the leaders in the team, I think you need to feel that they've got your best interest in heart. Yeah. And there is a sense of loyalty. Like, we talk about this all the time. One of my best friends has been in real estate for much longer than me, or a few years longer than me, and he's nowhere near where I'm at, because the leader of his team, it's all about the leader of his team. There's been no growth potential for him within the team, so he's been stuck where he was 7 or 8 years ago. Yeah. So it's a different.
So would you say, sorry to jump in, would you say that being a part of the team is what you're getting out of it is an acceleration of your career, massively, provided the leaders have that intention? Exactly. Like I do. We talk about it every day. You know, your brand, your thing, because I know that's important to you, and I do think that's important to everybody. You know, building their, if they're a bit wired like that, but building your profile, building your people, especially as a real estate agent, that is your product
for sure.
Like people knowing about you, and people in a tasteful way. You know, I think some agents that are constantly beating their chest, I don't know. That's very like sustaining.
The thing that we're coming up against now, for anybody listening, is because of the years of working with you and things like that, there is things coming to me now a bit separate, which are taking my attention away from the team. And you said to me last night, everybody has to look at it like it's you and me. It can't be me and you for 75% of the time, then the other 25%, you're over there doing your own thing, not telling me what you're doing. It's like we're doing everything together, no matter what it is. And I think when I went home last night, I was like, that's super important.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
because you like listing houses, but you're great at selling them as well. Like, fantastic. And the team works well when we all got our roles and we're all doing that. But part of it is now the new growth phase is you're getting a lot of listing opportunities. So we've got to create a system that yours come in and we handle them together so it's seamless, because it was getting very clunky.
It was.
So you're running off half the day doing your own listings and I'm doing my things, and it's like, it wasn't, what's the point? You know. So anyway, that is good. Next question. All right.
Yep.
Okay, go.
How to build confidence and self-belief as a new agent?
Prospect. I think once you're in the trenches every day and you're prospecting and you're just literally grinding away so hard, you almost feel like you're earning it. That's what I think. I think every spare minute of every spare day, every single day, you need to be prospecting like a machine. If you do that, 6 months' time, 12 months' time, you will feel like incredible.
Well, you're a good example of that. You said, and a lot of your friends have also confirmed this, that you were like a really shy kid. You didn't talk a lot to people, but you door knocked every day for 3 years. Like,
more than that.
That's what I mean. But there's a lot of really, really confident people that struggle to door knock. So if shy Matt Steinway can get out and knock on doors for 5 years straight with no car, anybody can just get into it.
Well, when I was at school, I had to do a talk on Flynn. Like, our house was called Flynn. So I took 2 weeks off so I didn't have to do the talk. I just didn't go till the talk was finished.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Next question. Work performance stress. Always wanting more, but it's never being enough. So feeling like...
Well, that's you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, go. You talk. I think you talk through that one.
I don't know. I think if you can control, that's a good thing. I think so.
So
well, what are you going to do?
Was the first part managing stress?
No, work performance stress of always wanting more and never feeling like you've done enough.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think that's just natural.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Just control it.
I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Like, just that's what's going to make you become the best or number one, or, you know, like even now, like we achieve great results, but we're like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Is your team still door knocking with all of the COVID crap escalating?
Yeah, yeah.
We did talk about
depends
that.
If Jordan can be bothered or not.
We did talk about that yesterday.
Jordan doesn't love door knocking. He sort of do, but you got to get in the zone for it, I think. Yeah, like you need to be reminded every now and then. Yeah, we do. Yeah, not when it's like lockdown.
Yeah.
But every other time,
now we'd have no
Yeah, you're not
problem.
going to kiss the people, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, just stand away.
Yeah, stand away.
How long does it take Tara to get ready in the mornings?
It takes Tara... Well, the good thing about Tara...
She's walked over and gone like...
There's Georgia.
Be careful.
Georgia's just walked out too. So I think the thing with Tara is she's incredibly good at getting ready when you're just about to leave. So she has this real knack of like deciding she's going to come right as you're walking out. So then you got to sit there for half an hour, like pretending that you're like happy and, you know, like waiting for her. Well, yeah, whatever it is. And then if I say to her, like, are you ready or anything? She cracks it. She like cracks it. What? It's like, it's not even worth talking about. But yeah, so it takes about half an hour, but at the most inopportune time you've ever seen.
What other investments do you invest in beside obviously real estate?
Well, yeah, not really a big investor. We've put like most of the time, energy and effort back into the business over the years. I've made a lot of sacrifices to build the business financially. But now, you too, Jordan. We do a little bit of crypto, but
yeah,
we've only got some money in XRP. Like, I'm not Yeah.
We just dabble in stuff just because we find it interesting. I've started buying some EFTs.
Yeah.
Not that I understand them. Just
NFTs?
NFTs, sorry. Yeah. I think we know real estate, so why would you try investing in other things you don't understand, or we spend 15 hours a day looking at real estate?
You know, we were talking about this last night with a guy I hold in very high esteem. I don't know if we call it, he's a mentor, friend or whatever, but his name's Gary Teak. And Gary Teak's probably one of the wealthiest people in this country. And I catch up with him every now and then, but we have a great relationship. He's just a good guy. And he's probably about 74. And I went down quite a while ago, and when I first met him, actually, and I realised how wealthy he was, and this is many years ago, I rang Gary and I said, can I just come down and talk about wealth creation? So just to give you an idea, part of his personal wealth, he's the largest private investor on the Australian stock market. That's just part of his wealth. So he's incredibly wealthy.
He has a huge real estate empire.
Huge. Huge. You'll probably never meet someone as wealthy again in us, general normal people.
Yeah.
But he's the nicest guy you've ever met in your life as well. I'm saying the nicest. Actually, your partner, Kim, used to work for us. She was a receptionist. And he walked out one day after catching up. He was driving up to one of his properties up in Newcastle or something, and he rang me and said, "Oh, Matt, would you mind if I just popped in and said hello?" And I was like, "No, that's fine." So he detoured and come and just caught up with me for an hour or so, and we were just chatting about different things. And he walked out and was standing on the footpath, and he said to me, he'd forgotten his wallet or something. He's like, Oh my goodness, Matt, would you mind if I just pop back into the office? I have to thank Kim for the water that she gave me. I'm incredibly embarrassed. I didn't thank her for it properly. I was like, okay. But that's how important it is. Another quick story about Gary. He was buying a property, I don't know how much it was, maybe 100 million or something, 50 million, 100 million, can't remember, through another agent friend of mine who's been friends with Gary. So James is probably 10 years older than me, but he's been friends with Gary for 30 plus years. Great friends. He was waiting for Gary to come down and sign the contract for this purchase, and 50 million or whatever it was is not a great deal of money for Gary. So it'd be like us exchanging on a $500,000 unit or something. And they're all waiting in the office, like everyone waiting for him to come so he can execute this contract. Big deal, big property, big whatever. And James rings Gary and says, "Gary, where are you? We're all waiting here. We've been here for a while." He says, "Look, James, I'm incredibly sorry. I'm just mowing the back lawn." I can't remember his wife's name, Gwen, I think it is. He says, I promised Gwen it would be done today, and I'm just getting it done now, so I'll be down soon.
Loyalty, man of his word.
I could tell you 1,000 stories about him,
but you can see why he'd be so successful at business, because people would know that a handshake with Gary Teak is a done deal.
Yeah,
he'd be very transparent, and he'd be easy to deal with.
Yeah, I did a video ages ago on some of his tips, but one of the tips that he lives by is he never does anything in life or in business if he feels uncomfortable. Doesn't matter what the deal is, doesn't matter how much money is involved, doesn't matter what it is. If he feels uncomfortable with the people or the terms or the actual deal, he never does it. Never. It's a big lesson in that. Anyway, some advice he gave me a long time ago is buy one property and pay it off. I know you know this, you've heard it 1,000 times, but buy one property. I said, what's the key to achieving wealth? He said, spend less than you earn, buy one property and pay it off, and then buy another one and learn about compound interest. That's what he said. So I think I'll stick to his philosophy. So I don't own a lot of properties. I own the one we're in now. But I've been divorced twice, so I've paid a lot in divorce in things and a lot of child support. But
you own the commercial
property we're in now, and a couple of commercial places, and we're building a really beautiful house. But that's it.
There was a similar one. Saying with all of the money that you earn, what do you invest it back into? So you answered that. Here's a good one: leadership, and how do you go about leading a team?
Oh, can I just go back to that that other one about what else we invest in? We don't have a lot of debt. We have hardly any.
None, pretty much.
So in the business, houses, like I've had a bit of debt when I rebought this, but it's pretty much paid off now. But after the second divorce, but it's like, yeah, I don't work with a lot of debt. I know that's a lot of people do.
So you and I are totally different. I'm like, I'll take every cent the bank will ever lend me. Like, give me every dollar.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong or anything like that. I just myself, I just don't like a lot of debt.
I'll just be in a position with 20 houses and something will happen. Oh my god.
Yeah, I almost have none.
Yeah. Leadership, and how do you lead your team?
Well, you can answer that.
You want me to answer it?
Yeah.
I think you're very good at leading from the front. I think with a team there needs to be a leader. Yeah. Otherwise it can be like just a bit strange, but everybody believes in your leadership and the way that we're going. But you've got a lot better over the years as well, I think.
More patient.
Yeah, more patient.
Yeah.
But I think it's important, we were talking about it last night, to know what the goals are of your team members. Yeah. And you're like you make that really clear. Like you said last night, I was looking at Ash's property. I'm really excited that she's building a dream home. I want to try to work out how do we increase her money. I'm thinking about what's next for Charlie and how does he fit in and what's his growth phase. You're very invested into everybody individually, which is what I like, because really everybody, they say that they are, but they only really care about themselves. Like, let's
that's
be honest.
True. Yeah.
Yes, you can love working in a team. Yes, you can love a business, but like, you are really thinking, well, how am I going to build my life? And like, am I building my dream home and this? And you know what my goals are, but you're really good at making sure that everybody's getting the best out of the team, but the best out of their life as well. So
yeah.
Anything else to add?
Yeah, no, I think that's really good. I see work as a platform now. It's a platform to benefit life. Like I used to be a bit, my identity was work, and it still is to a degree. Like I'm the real estate guy, but that's why I look at, you know, what's work doing for Jordan? Like, because you how many hours do you work a day? 12, 14 hours a day. Like, that's a lot, and you're giving up a lot of your life. So I look at that is it funding, fueling the rest of your life? That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ash, she's renovating a house. You're the same. You're contributing to her renovation, but it means the world to her. So if she's getting satisfaction at work and she's getting satisfaction outside of work, they're going to stick around.
Another thing to add that I was just thinking of, I think there's two types of leaders. I think there's the leader that sits on the sideline and whips their team and says, get moving, guys. You need to do this. You need to do that. I think with you, you're the one in the mix with the team going, come on, guys, we're going this way.
Yeah.
Like, you still prospect like an absolute machine. You still work the same hours as everybody else where you don't need to. We could obviously run around and do everything for you.
Yeah.
You still put a lot of deals on. You still list 100 plus properties a year. Like, you're still doing the crux of it and showing the team, now hang on a second, I'm not just on the sideline letting you run the ball up. Like, I'm in there with you running it up. So
yeah, I think example is exactly monkey see, monkey do as well. Like, you know, Charlie watches you, you watch me. It sort of flows down the line sort of thing. And you know what will make me really satisfied? Sorry to jump in.
Yeah.
What will make this is where I'm at now. Like, I'm 49 years old. I've spent my entire adult life building this vehicle. You know, it's not huge, it's reasonable, it's like good, serves a lot of people, gives a lot of people opportunity on the coast up here and all that sort of stuff. Nothing is going to make me happier than seeing you become successful. Like, it just drives me. Like, I think it's very satisfying now to see Jordan, Charlie, Ash, like becoming what they see in their mind. I think it's like it's extra good for me to watch that. You know, watching you, you know, like now it's like exchanging on the other properties, and I'm interested to see what car you get.
Yeah.
And you know, when we have another big year, I'm interested to see, like, when you buy your Ferrari. I know you're going to at some point. I'm like interested to see when that happens. But, you know, I feel like I'm part of your life, like, with that.
It'll feel like it'll be at the right time.
Yeah, well.
And everybody will go, like, you deserve that.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
You're the only guy that will drive a Ferrari permanently every day as a normal car. And you pull up at the most crowded cafes and park at the front.
Yeah.
Yeah. You bip the horn and you make sure everyone can see you.
Your weight training program and what you've learned with building muscle.
Yeah. Takes time. Yeah, it takes time. Like, you know, I'm not really like, been through a bit of a journey with that. Like I think now it's probably more balanced. I was like really working on it a lot before. It was like takes a lot of time, energy, and effort. But I think as you get older, muscle's important. I just like looking fit now. Like I like looking like a fit old guy. When I go to people's houses, they sort of look at me and go, yeah, like you take care of yourself. Because I think that says a lot about you.
Can I give you my observation from looking outside in?
Yeah.
I think you actually keep it pretty simple,
Yeah.
to be really honest. Like, I would think that listeners and people that watch your stuff would think that you've got like counting macros, like perfect dietary meals, like, but you're not. Like you just eat the right food that feels right. Like, what's that thing that you just throw a few nuts on top of? It's like
the rice crackers.
Like you keep your diet really simple,
Yeah,
but you know that it fits it perfectly.
Oh, you mean pesto pasta?
Yeah, it's a very simple diet, but it's clean and it's really good. But your training too is like when you train at the gym, you train hard. You train really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like probably the hardest I've ever seen, to the point that I stopped training with you because I thought, this is insane. Remember when he started at Mingara, all of my friends were going, mate, sign Matt up at a different gym. Like, we can't concentrate. He's just throwing weights around like a maniac. But I think a lot of people go to the gym and just give it like 80% or 90%. You're like 150 every single time. Like,
you know what's really funny? You know what I think of a lot? Like, and I'm not saying this because now I actually think about it so much, is when you said to me about a year ago, I go to the gym and nothing changes. And I actually doing weights and I'm thinking like, how does he even do that?
Because a lot of people go to tick a box.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just go to get in and out as well. Like I don't muck around. I don't like Jackson trains with me now.
Yeah, there's no chatting. It's like music on 100.
You've lost your membership now because you don't come. You haven't renewed it. But it's like it's in and out. Like, you know, we call it 31 minutes, but sometimes a bit longer or shorter. But it's like if I do chest, it's just chest, boom, 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 and out. Not much talking on. Yeah, I mean, there's only me and Bryce and Jackson there anyway. But yeah, it's like, yeah. So anyway, next one. On that, I may as well just say I only do one body part at a time. So if I do chest, I do chest. If I do back, I do back. If I do arms, I do arms. You know what I mean? So like I just do it. You're right. Very simple.
Starting fresh in a new real estate location. Do you want me to answer this?
Yes.
It'll take 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Buy the Matt Steinway system and follow it.
Yeah. And on that, starting fresh, just saturation. You need to saturate the area. Unless you saturate it, people aren't going to know you.
Yep. Over time, becoming unrelatable.
Yeah. That happens. Yeah, I think as people become more successful,
That's
you mean?
from AP. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's... Look, John McGrath said to me many, many years ago, like 20 years ago, he said, success... Because I said, John, you know, like I'm doing okay, but some people really don't like me. They're talking about me and things. He goes, Matt, go up on the whiteboard and he goes, success breeds polarity. I never forgot it. Success breeds polarity. Some people are going to like you, some people aren't. You can't keep everyone happy. Don't worry about it. Just deal with the people that like you. So true. And that's from the king of real estate. Yeah, so I don't get too fazed about it anymore.
He's done very well at staying relevant.
Really relevant.
Like,
yeah.
He is like more relevant now than he was probably in the height of his real estate career.
John McGrath is the most underrated. When I say rated, like he literally is the best I've ever seen. The best business guy,
God,
great
he's a
person.
good guy, yeah.
Great person. I mean, he texted me this morning about trying to find a property for a mate of his that we've just sold his house up here. Like, the guy's a freak. Like, literally. You know, I think he should bring out some more books and things like that. Like, they're invaluable. He is the king of kings, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Transitioning into a solo agent from a team.
We just talked about it.
We did.
Yeah.
Yep. How to get a particular market share in a core area.
Yeah, that's a long thing. So particular market share. I think the magic happens around 30%. So you've just, like, saturation is where it's at. Most agents never achieve saturation. You've got to literally prospect so hard that you start to get people offside. Once you start to get people offside, you're doing something. People are starting to sort of go, leave me alone. Stop putting stuff in the meta box. Stop knocking on my door. Blah, 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 blah. Like, you got to get to that point. Most agents don't. Most agents prospect because of need. So they prospect.
You know what I heard yesterday?
Yeah.
Just really quickly, which like I went home and I was at the house that listed at Baddo Bay, and one of the agents there was saying that in his core area, whenever anything gets listed with him or any other agency, a brand out there drop a gift basket to the door saying, "Welcome to the market."
Yeah.
I was like, that's strange. Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah, I have.
I don't know how I feel about it.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't need to. Like all these quirky things. There used to be a company called Fruit. I don't know if they're still around, but they used to drop a bag of fruit to the house saying "Fruit welcomes you to the market." It wasn't even their listing or something. There's been 1,000 of these things over the years, but it's a bit weird because they don't know you. I wouldn't do that.
When do you put on? This is a good question, and I'm going to summarize it because there's a bit of spelling mistakes. But like, as a solo agent, when do you put on the second and third person into a team?
All right. Well, first one you got to put in your admin. That's first.
Yeah.
People put on a buyer agent, and it never works properly. You need to put on just an admin person, someone who likes, the person that's got like glasses on, that loves just reading. It's all right. Come in, Sue. Morning, Sue. The person that just loves checklists.
Yeah.
You need one of those.
Yep.
Checklist expert.
Yep.
That's first. And you would do that, I'd say, probably a few years. So it's just when you can't cope anymore. Like when you are so full.
Is it a number thing? Like, because there is a financial
I reckon you can list and sell five and five. Five listings, 5 sales a month consistently.
To put on an admin assistant.
Then put on an admin assistant. Some people say do it sooner than as you can, but there's a cost reality around it. But I would say 5 and 5 consistently, and that's where you're hovering vibrationally, and you're able to do that. And then I would look at putting an admin person on. And then you and an admin person, I reckon, can ride up to 1.2, 1.3.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and then once that happens, then put another person on.
Yeah.
Because I think to put people on, you've got to grow as a leader. Yeah. And when you've really been in there doing it, you really understand it, how to manage it, build it, hold it, maintain it over a period of time, you're almost ready for someone else to help you. When you do it too early, you don't know what to get them to do. You're a bit like, and you're strangling things because you're trying to do everything yourself. Your mum did that. And then people sometimes go backwards. Sometimes they put them on, can't do it, it's too hard, have to think about this person, think about the cost all the time. Then they go backwards again and just go back to themselves because it's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think picking the person is very important too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, look at all of the most successful agents in the country. They've normally had the same assistant. Like, look at Alexander Phillips and Prue. Like, Prue is an absolute machine.
Yeah.
Like, that lady is out of control. But I don't know if this is exactly right, but they've worked together for a long time. I don't know if it's more than 10 or 15 years. Her and Alex would work together like glue, pretty much. So when the next person, when the next person comes in, it's like they're already running so fast. Like, they could almost answer each other's sentences. They know what each other's thinking. Yeah. So I think finding the right.
I think it comes back to as well. You got to like the person.
Yeah.
Like, you really people talk about skill. Like, I get the best this or the best that. I think you can train a lot of it. You can't train care. You just can't. But when you like somebody, you care about them. And when you're invested in that person in terms of like, I really like hanging out with you every day. I've got good intention. I want to build something together. I really want to do my role well. Like, you want to please that person.
Yeah.
So I think liking the person is very important, but not just they've got to be wired in that direction as well. Though, like, I wouldn't be a good admin person because I don't like admin. But if you get a person that likes admin, that's happy to be the engine behind you, but you like each other as well, you're on a winning formula. Yeah.
Who's Booney's person again?
Anne Humphreys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his other guy's been with him for a long time.
Jeff Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the best way to bounce back and reset if you've lost a bit of your mojo and you're feeling stagnant?
We just answered it before. Yeah, look, I think sometimes you got to just go a bit general. Like, you just got to, if you're not feeling great, you just cruise for a little bit. You'll click in again.
For any young people looking to get into the real estate industry with no experience straight out of school, What's your best advice?
Walk in somewhere and say, hey, I just want to be your cadet. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll work for free. That's the only way in.
Do you think that you should pick an agent in an area that you want to work for the rest of your career?
Yeah, for sure. Like if you're young and you're like, I really like what Jordan Bourne is doing, I would say, Jordan, can I just work for you for free? Like you don't have to pay me until you decide I'm worth something to you. And I'll be here every day. I'll work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I'm here. I just want an opportunity, because you're trying to create an opportunity. Every good person will get an opportunity created for them.
Exactly.
We've done it. We've had people contact us and we just create opportunities for them because we want them.
Yeah.
So you've got to become invaluable to that person. And that opportunity of, it'll cost nothing. Like I'll cost nothing for you. I will be here every day at 7 o'clock in the morning. I will do whatever you want me to do for as long as it takes. Can I just work for you? Even if they say no, ring them next Monday morning at 8:30 in the morning. Jordan, I'm just checking in. Has anything, opportunities popped up?
Yeah.
I'll do whatever it takes, anything at all. Like without sounding desperate. Just say, Jordan, I will letterbox for you every day. Whatever you want to do, just give me the things and I'll do them for you. You don't have to pay me. Because the reason you want to do it for free is it's like, you become so valuable instantly.
Yeah.
Because who wouldn't want someone to letterbox for them for free?
Yeah.
And you and I, we're not that sort of people. We would pay them anyway.
Yeah.
Not too long down the track, but you just want to get a feel for the person.
It's more about that personality, because real estate is a bit like you just need to do anything and everything, like when it pops up.
Yeah.
So you'd go, well, that's pretty cool for a 20-year-old to have that sort of mindset.
Yeah, I've put people off because of attitude. Like they've said, oh, no, I don't know, or whatever, not for me. I said, oh, that's great, see you later, bye. And then not interested. Because you just want willingness. There's a lot of value in it. It's attractive energy, like someone who's really willing and will just bend over backwards to get a start in. That's what I look for.
Yeah.
When you interview someone, you don't know. I never look at CVs. I don't think I've ever looked at one.
Yeah.
You're sitting with the person. I'm like, will this person do whatever it takes?
Yeah.
If that's a yes, they got a job straight away.
One of the questions was, what's the plan for the 31-minute diary?
Oh, actually, we'll do it today. I sort of started it yesterday. I'm just going to keep it very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. You can't find anything out there. Yeah.
You would anything to give you ideas, or
no, I can't find one to buy.
Are you not creating one?
Yeah, going to make one. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. So we'll make one. There's always opportunity and need.
The question underneath it was any 31-minute merch.
No, we've got hats, but we've never sold them. They're just downstairs. Yeah, they're just actually, we'll send that person a hat. We'll send anyone a hat. Just send your address in. We'll send it out to you. The 31-minute stuff. Is that it today?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So one thing that I think Aaron wrote on one of the questions is 31 minutes. We will try and keep these podcasts 31 minutes, because when people are working out, it fits with that.
Yep.
He said if it goes over 31 minutes, make it 62 minutes so they can listen to the next half on the 31. I think that's a great idea.
Good point. Yeah.
So we will make these podcasts 31 minutes from now on, give or take. And and any other stuff. We'll do a question one every now and then. But yeah, appreciate today.
Very good.